Thank you, Andy. This past February, a tragic car crash took the lives of local theater pioneer Michael Green and filmmaker Narcisse Blood. At the time, they were in Saskatchewan working on Making Treaty 7, which is a groundbreaking theatrical performance that explores the history of the events at Blackfoot Crossing in 1877. The new season of Making Treaty 7 is about to start, so we've been joined and welcome Justin Minifingers and Denise Clark here to tell us more about it. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning, Jill.
Now, Denise, tell me a little bit about coming on board this year and why it was important to you to take part.
Well, Michael was a dear colleague of mine. I've been with One Yellow Rabbit with him all the way through, and it was a great passion of his. And but beyond that, the project itself is really an important one, Jill. I think in this time of truth and reconciliation and the findings, it behooves all of us to really educate ourselves about what it means to be treaty people, because we all are treaty people, and I was one of the woefully ignorant people who didn't really clock that in my life. I thought that the treaties were about those people and Native people, and not really, it just didn't ever hit me that this was my issue as well.
And so you came to those realizations and doing the work?
Through this work, through seeing them. I was a very ardent audience member before I became a cast member.
Interesting.
Now I'm an ardent cast member.
Yes, you are. The new girl in town.
And the new kid.
Now, Justin, you were part of this from its inception, from the beginnings. And tell us about the evolution and how the story is carrying forward, because what we'll see, what audiences will see this year is different than how it began.
Yeah, it's, we've been very fortunate over, I think it was about 4 years, from the very earliest concept, where Michael Green literally went to every almost elder's house on the reserve. Elders don't have email, so it's a little bit tough to get a hold of them. And his willingness to make this happen, and it happened. And Troy Emery Twigg, who's another part of the project. So I've been there from the very beginning, when a bunch of artists just showed up in Banff and said, what are we going to do? And
what story are we going to tell?
Yeah, so it has evolved into that. And last year it was 3 hours, and that was cut down in half. The original material that we created was actually 6 hours. So last year was it's a lot more different compared to this year. This year, this is more the theatrical version of it, and this will be the show that we're going to be taking on tour national and internationally in the future. And we have a lot of new cast members on it, and yeah, it's quite something.
And you touched on it a little bit, when the founder, Michael Green, who is an icon in Calgary theatre and very much a part of the landscape and arts here in the city. How does his heart and soul shine through this production?
Well, in every way. I mean, he's still very present in the room, as is Narcisse, who came on board as an actor last time around, but the work is very passionate and it's very individually created. Each artist that you're going to hear speaking has written their own material, and that is a tribute to Michael's vision and how deeply he cared about this topic, and to move this educational kind of energy into a very theatrical zone. And I think this is a beautifully realized production. We just did a full run yesterday, and it's beautiful. And now it's 2 hours.
Yeah, it's 2 hours.
There you have it. And also, Narcisse Blood, his voice carried through. And tell us a little bit about how the importance that he had in creating this, and how his voice shines through today.
So much. He's been there and helping everything from building the non-native and native cultures, and him and Michael working together to make it work, bringing in the right people, bringing in some other elders, bringing in some community members. Yeah, I don't know how they did it.
And the thing about Narcisse is, even at his memorial service, there was such a strong statement from him. His passionate, non-racist views were so beautifully realized even at the service. And to see, you know, Blake Brooker and Michelle Thrush co-directing, the friendship amongst everybody, the fun we have, it's beautiful, and it's important that people witness that and think about their own lives.
the message and the story lives on at the Bella Concert Hall. Making Treaty 7 plays only a few times, Wednesday to Friday, 7 p.m. So do be sure to try to get in if you can. breakfasttelevision.ca for more information. Congratulations and break leg to both of you on your opening night.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. And